సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ న్యూట్రిషన్‌కి సంబంధించి చాలా విషయాలు తెలుసుకున్నాం కదా! సెలబ్రిటీస్ గురించి సెలబ్రిటీస్‌కి అంజలి గారు ఎలాంటి సజెషన్స్, ఎలాంటి రికమెండేషన్స్ అండ్ ఆల్సో ద లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ న్యూట్రిషన్ వాళ్ళు ఎలా తీసుకుంటారు? వాళ్ళకి మేడం ఎలాంటి సజెషన్స్ ఇస్తారో అడిగి తెలుసుకుందాం. సో దే ఆర్ ఫ్యూ క్వెషన్స్. లెట్స్ గో. సో కెన్ యూ షేర్ సెలబ్రిటీ న్యూట్రిషన్ సీక్రెట్స్? లైక్ వాళ్ళతో ఎలా డీల్ చేస్తారు? వాళ్ళ సీక్రెట్స్ ఎలా ఉంటాయి? వాళ్ళ న్యూట్రిషన్ లిస్ట్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది?
So they also eat very similar to the pattern that we do. It depends on where they are from. So the celebrities who come from the north definitely have a lot of the North Indian kind of food that they eat. Celebrities who are from the south still do love their rice. వాళ్ళు కూడా, mudupappu, annam, those are the kind of things that they love. But it depends on the project that they are working right now. So usually when they come to us, they are working on a particular project. Either they've been asked to gain weight or they've been asked to lose weight, or ఏదైనా స్కిన్ ఇష్యూస్ ఏమైనా ఉంటే కొన్ని ట్రీట్మెంట్స్ నడుస్తూ ఉంటాయి. They want the nutrition to support them. So when it comes to weight loss or weight gain, we definitely look at వాళ్ళ schedule ఎలా ఉంటుంది. There are certain days they work in the night, certain days they work in the morning. So everything depends on the time of their work. And usually they will have one person who is with them all the time and who manages this aspect for them, whether it is their food, giving them the food on time, giving them even the water bottle to keep themselves hydrated. So they have some help always. So we deal with that person. So secretary and coach, or the person who's usually there with them on the sets, on the shoot. So we deal with them anamata. Vallaki we give the plan to them and tell them that this is the way that needs to be handled for them, and we are constantly in touch. With celebrities, the main thing is anytime schedule change avutundi depending on various circumstances. So we are usually on call. You can't help it. You have to be able to take their call if there are certain changes in the timetables or the schedules. According to that, we have to change on their food as well. But they have the privilege anochu to be able to include any type of food. So వాళ్ళకి restrictions లేవు. Like if they want to go, like you said, if somebody wants to go plant-based, even if we tell them there are certain foods that they need to get from somewhere else, it is possible for them. For any reason, we find that certain foods that are not available here, we need to get it from somewhere else. And that also is a possibility. And we find a lot of them focusing on, because skin and hair is something that needs to be maintained very well for them. Their look is very important. So వాళ్ళు చాలా మైక్రోన్యూట్రియన్స్ మీద ఫోకస్ చేస్తారు. ఫ్రూట్స్, రెగ్యులర్గా ఫ్రెష్ ఫ్రూట్స్ తినడం. మధ్యలో దెర్ ఆర్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ హూ ఫీల్ హంగ్రీ వెరీ ఆఫెన్ ఆల్సో. సో దెర్ ఇస్, ఐఎమ్ షూర్ యూ వుడ్ హవ్ సీన్ కేబీసీలో Amitabh Bachchan did mention about how Deepika eats very often. She has these small meals that she eats very often. So there are some of them who are like that, who need constant ఒక చిన్న స్నాక్ కానీ, a small like a fruit or some nuts or seeds అలాగా. So we need to make sure that if they're on a weight loss, వాళ్ళకి ఎంత protein, carbohydrate, fat, how much do they need? At the same time, how to maintain their micronutrient level. That is the way that we plan their whole schedule. And timings kuda pettam according to the time that they're awake and the time that they're sleeping. Okay. So according to that we set. So sometimes if you have to set their night becomes their day, because they're on a night shoot. Yep. So appudu timings anni change avutayi. So we plan according to that anamata.
సో చాలా మూవీస్ సైన్ చేస్తారు కొంతమంది. ఈ మూవీకి ఇలా కనిపించాలి, ఆ మూవీకి అలా కనిపించాలి అని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళు మీ దగ్గరకు వస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో మీరు ఎలా మేనేజ్ చేస్తారు అలాంటివి? లైక్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ అ సడన్ ఒక షూట్లో సన్నగా కనిపించాలి, ఇంకొక షూట్లో లావుగా కనిపించాలి, బొద్దుగా కనిపించాలి. సో రెండు ఒకేసారి సైన్ చేసేసి ఉంటారు. అలాంటివి ఎలా మేనేజ్ చేస్తారు?
So far I have not had that challenge. But I think it also helps when, most of them have very good trainers, physical trainers kuda. So for the part where they need to gain weight, definitely there's a lot of protein supplementation that happens, the kind of workout that they do, muscle build cheskuntaru. So then we work on that aspect. And when they need to, look thin or something like that, all of that, the complete calorie, protein, avi change avutundannamata. So very rarely have I had a case like this where they've signed, where they need to look completely different in two different movies.
Okay.
But I think exercise and what is the kind of workout routine that they have also plays a very important role here.
ఓకే. సో, ఏదైనా యూనిక్ ఫుడ్స్ ఆర్ అన్‌కన్వెన్షనల్ ఫుడ్స్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో, లేకపోతే సప్లిమెంట్స్ కానివ్వండి,
Hmm.
సెలబ్రిటీస్ వాళ్ళ డైట్‌లో లైక్ ఎలా ఇంక్లూడ్ చేసుకుంటారు? అండ్ మీరేం
Yeah.
సజెస్ట్ చేస్తారు?
Yeah. So most of them are on supplementation. I'm not talking, I mean, it's not wrong at all. They're all called as nutraceuticals. See, there are some normal nutrients in your body which might be in a low level, and you need to bring it up. So
కరెక్ట్.
there's nothing wrong in taking a medicine for it because you want a concentrated source of that nutrient.
కరెక్ట్.
So most of them are on supplements either to improve on their skin or keep their hair, maintaining their hair, maintaining their skin. So very rarely, you will find someone who is not on supplements, but they're all under the guidance of a doctor. They don't just randomly take something over the counter. It is all planned properly, and the nutrition supports whatever medication that they're taking. We also look at food-drug interaction. If someone has had a heart issue and they are on blood thinners, there are certain foods that I have to avoid. So green leafy vegetables ఎక్కువ ఇవ్వకూడదు. So vitamin K rich foods కొంచెం తగ్గించాలి. So there are these kind of food-drug interactions which we have to keep in mind. So we do that. We ensure that if they're on supplements, what are the foods that we should be giving them and which one we should be avoiding అనేది we definitely look into that.
ఓకే. సో, డూ సెలబ్రిటీస్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ స్పెసిఫిక్ టిప్స్ ఆర్ టెక్నిక్స్ ఫర్ మేనేజింగ్ క్రేవింగ్స్ కానివ్వండి, ఇలా డిసిప్లిన్‌గా ఎలా ఉంటారు?
I think all of them are aware of the importance of their physique, their body. See, this is one industry where the person's looks matter so much. So for all of us, actually, the body and the way we look should matter. But in this industry, it is much more. So I find all of them are very, very religious with their exercise routine, with their food. You don't have to push them to do something. They're already motivated to do it because this is their life. And at the same time, there's a lot of pressure.
యాహ్!
They go through a lot of stress
యాహ్!
in managing their routine. And ఒక్క చిన్న మిస్టేక్ చేస్తే కూడా today with social media and all of that, there's so much of exposure that is there, and a lot of people start to say or comment things. So even a small mistake is not allowed. So there are two aspects to it wherein they're very dedicated, they're very aware of what needs to be done, and meeta vallalaga I don't have to push them. And if they have the trust in you that yes, I've come to you and you know the subject well, you just tell me what to do and I will do it.
యాహ్!
So that is the mode of mindset that they come with.
ఆర్ దేర్ ఎనీ స్పెసిఫిక్ సెలబ్రిటీ ఎండోర్స్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో, అవి మీరు సజెస్ట్ చేయడం, రికమెండ్ చేయడం లాంటివి ఏమైనా చేశారా? అలాంటివి ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా ఎవరికైనా చెప్పినవి?
So I don't go by suggesting products only because the celebrity has suggested it. But I have personally liked Urban Kisan. Samantha Garu usually does promote that. And I have really liked their products. I've liked that concept where they brought about hydroponic vegetables and fruits. So as a nutritionist, I don't recommend a particular food only because a celebrity has recommended it. But I would do my own research to see, is it really truly something that I should be recommending to somebody. So for example, I like Urban Kisan, the concept that they have brought about, the hydroponic way of growing vegetables. Nenu mundu cheppanu kada, the soil is depleting of nutrients. Now this is a way of growing your plants without soil, adding nutrients to the water. So definitely those plants, those vegetables, those fruits that are coming from there will have a good amount of nutrient content.
Correct.
So definitely I suggest, if someone asks me where can I get my fruits and vegetables from, I have suggested Urban Kisan to them. So that way some of those brands, but we do our own research before we suggest anything to anyone.
అంటే లైక్ వాళ్ళు ఎలా పండిస్తున్నారు, వాళ్ళు ఎలాంటి సాయిల్లో
I have
పండిస్తున్నారు?
gone myself and
Okay.
I've spoken to the person who's the founder, and I've seen how they are doing things. So unless I'm confident, I will not suggest.
correct,
And it
correct.
goes for the team as well. They
Yeah.
always do their research before they
That's
suggest
amazing.
something
Yeah.
to them.
సో, హౌ డు సెలబ్రిటీస్ అప్రోచ్ న్యూట్రిషనిస్ట్ ఆర్ వాళ్ళు న్యూట్రిషన్ అనేది తీసుకోవాలి, ఇంకా నేను డెఫినెట్గా వర్క్ చేయాలి అని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళు రెడ్ కార్పెట్ లుక్ కానివ్వండి, నెక్స్ట్ షూట్ కానివ్వండి, ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళ ప్రెప్పింగ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది మీ దగ్గరికి అప్రోచ్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు?
So when they're going for certain events, definitely we have to keep in mind that during that event there's going to be a long meal gap, so they're not going to be able to eat or drink anything, but we always make sure hydration is constantly happening. So before the event meal we tell them what they can have, so that protein based koncham iste it stays in the stomach for a little longer, you don't get hungry, but you have to keep hydrating yourself. Anytime you've increased your protein intake, hydration is very important. And then most of these events happen more during the evening, and you find that dan tarvata oka heavy, there'll be a party, and then there's heavy food.
Yeah.
So most of them, I can tell you, are pretty conscious. Okay, but we have to have some damage control things on the next day.
Yeah.
So some of them, they do maybe overdo a little bit of the alcohol or the drinking, so then we have damage control. There are certain drinks that we tell them to have the next day, which can help in reducing the bloating. Immediate ka face bloat avutundi, they feel bloated in the body, so we have like jeera water or coriander seeds ni boil chesi aa neellu tagadam. So we have certain remedies for these things that we tell them to do. And if they've overeaten, which is very rare, I've found that many of them are very conscious when they go for these foods, unless they've been in a mood where I've not eaten this in a long time, so I'm going to have a portion of this. So usually with celebrities, portion, our knowledge about the portions is very good. They know that, I should be eating only in these portions, and, this is the way I need to go. But there is another extreme also that we see. They starve themselves, some of them, which is wrong. So there it takes us a little longer to get into their mind and tell them that, what you're doing is not good in the long run. So some of them are on water diet, or, they just have water throughout the day, or they just have tender coconut water, or just buttermilk, just liquids. Chala mandi ala chestaru. See, 1 or 2 days in between, if you do it, it's fine. But when you do it on a long run, lot of your nutrients deficiency vachesthundi. So for such people, when we're not able to immediately change them, supplementation is something that we look into. So we did have one of the celebrities. She was a serial actor, and when she came to us, she was starving, because she was not getting roles because she was on the heavier side. So plus there's a lot of mental stress because of it. So we had to slowly change her mindset and show her in a week and 10 days that meer tinte chudandi meeku enta weight loss avutundi, and how you're going to be, you're mentally also, you're so alert and sharp because you're eating the right food. At the same time, you're losing weight, so you can, when you go to give your trial shots or anything, you're at least mentally much more in a better place compared to before. So it took us those 10-15 days to show her the difference, that when you eat, how your body behaves, and when you're starving, that irritability, anger, and the tolerance level to what's happening around you also goes down.
సో వాట్ ఇస్ దిస్ ఇంటర్మీడియట్ ఫాస్టింగ్ అంటారు చూసారా? ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు 16 గంటలు ఫాస్టింగ్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఫుడ్ తీసుకుంటారు. ఇది ఎంతవరకు కరెక్ట్ అంటారు? అసలు ఈ ఇంటర్మీడియట్ ఫాస్టింగ్ అంటే ఏంటి?
See, intermittent fasting does work for some people, and I won't say no about it. But the way you do it is important. What you eat in those hours is important. చాలా మంది ఏమనుకుంటారంటే, ఇంటర్మీడియట్ ఫాస్టింగ్ చేస్తున్నాను కదా, ఏదైనా తినొచ్చు, బిర్యానీ కూడా తినొచ్చు, డెజర్ట్స్ కూడా ఎంత కావాలో అంత తినొచ్చు, నేను ఓన్లీ బిట్వీన్ దిస్ టైమ్ అండ్ దిస్ టైమ్ తింటాను అని అంటారు. బట్ దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో రాంగ్ వే ఆఫ్ డూయింగ్ ఇట్, right? So even if you're doing intermittent fasting, what is the kind of food that you're eating between that gap that you're eating is important. కొంతమందికి 14 hours ఫాస్టింగ్ పనిచేస్తుంది, కొంతమందికి 16 hour ఫాస్టింగ్ పనిచేస్తుంది, కొంతమందికి 18 hour. But people who have gut issues, for example acidity or IBS, అలాంటి ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి they have to do this with a lot of caution and only under professional guidance. And there is no sure shot rule that ఒకరికి పనిచేస్తే నాకు కూడా పనిచేస్తుంది అనేది. Every body is made differently. There are many of us who wake up very early in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning we wake up. Up to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock తిన్నొద్దు అని అంటే, from 5 to 1 to stay hungry is not easy, right? So there are there could be chances of acidity forming. So what is your lifestyle? Can intermittent fasting be an appropriate way of eating for you according to your lifestyle? That is an important thing for you to judge.
సో హౌ ఫార్ ఎంతమంది సెలబ్రిటీస్ని మీరు ట్రీట్ చేశారు? మీ క్లయింట్స్, మీ సెలబ్రిటీస్ చాలా ఎక్కువ మంది ఉంటారు. ఐ హర్డ్ నాగార్జున గారు అండ్ అమలా గారు ఆల్సో వన్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ క్లయింట్స్ ప్రీవియస్లీ.
That was long back. I did meet them. I had the opportunity of helping them. Nagarjuna Garu is very particular about the food that he eats. If you know, Amla Garu is now plant-based completely as well. So even when I met her, she was completely plant-based. And it shows a lot of difference in their skin and hair, you know, when they choose the right kind and method of eating. So yes, we do get actors and actresses, whether it's film related or serial related, and we do get people who are in the media, so they need not be in front of the camera, but there are some of them who are behind the camera as well. So from the media group, certain people who come in and who are very particular about the way, because they, on a day-to-day basis, they meet a lot of celebrities, they need to look a certain way. So those kind of people are whom we are helping.
ఓకే. సో వెల్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ఫర్ జాయినింగ్ మీ టుడే. చాలా మంచి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అయితే మీరు షేర్ చేసుకోవడం జరిగింది. అండ్ చూశారు కదా, న్యూట్రిషన్ అనేది బాడీకి ఎంత ఇంపార్టెంట్, అండ్ మనం తీసుకునే ఫుడ్ బట్టే మన బాడీ అనేది ఉంటుంది, యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ మన ప్రవర్తన కూడా దాని మీద డిపెండెంట్ అయి ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే చెత్త ఫుడ్ తినేసి సరిగ్గా పడుకోకుండా నెక్స్ట్ డే లేచి వర్క్ చేయాలంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంపాసిబుల్. ఏ ఎమోషన్స్లోనో కూర్చుంటాం, లేకపోతే ఏ ఫీవర్ వస్తుంది, లేకపోతే సంథింగ్ ఏదో ఒకటి వచ్చేస్తుంది బాడీకి. బట్ డెఫినెట్లీ వస్తుందని నేను చెప్పట్లేదు, వచ్చే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయేమో అని చెప్పేసి మనం ప్రాపర్ డైట్ అనేది ఫాలో అవ్వాల్సి ఉంటుంది అనమాట. సో దట్స్ ఆల్ ఫర్ టుడే, అండ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ అంజలి గారు ఫర్ జాయినింగ్ మీ టుడే. అండ్ చాలా మంచి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అయితే మా అందరికీ ఇచ్చారు. ఇలా మీరు మరెంతో ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అండ్ అవేర్నెస్ కల్పించాలని కోరుకుంటున్నాను. దిస్ ఇస్ సుధా గంటి, అండ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ఫర్ వాచింగ్ దిస్, అండ్ కీప్ సబ్స్క్రైబింగ్ టు ద ఛానల్. నమస్కారం.